Okay, this is the removal of an 87 Rx7 steering wheel. So I can get to this behind this instrument cluster here and replace this windshield wiper switch, which is kind of working only on the slow speed. But anyway, let's get to it. There's a couple screws right behind the steering wheel there. Another one there. That just gets the faceplate on. Get a flathead screwdriver. I'm going to pop this off here. There you go. And gonna want to move the steering wheel around. So it's good to have the key in. I did unplug the negative cable to the battery before I start working on this. Okay, let's get this first screw here. Now, they won't tell you this, but at least not the Chilton's manual, but it's actually better to get rid of this, or at least undo these screws from the steering column housing, just to give you a little bit of room to work with for the 3 other screws that are holding this onto the steering wheel, the horn section at least. So I've got 3 screws here. So there's 3 screws. What I'm trying to do. Now that's loose. I can actually pull this thing out here. It just comes right out. come apart here. There's another screw. I forgot one more screw. There's one more up here. Now this should come apart. And it's not working with me. Let's see. I want to force it. Oh, there we go. Just kind of pushed them together. And this should be able to pop right off. There we go. Got that out of the way. Now, there should be more room to take this little horn section off here, which is actually a huge pain in the ass. It's good to have this key in here, keep the steering wheel unlocked. Okay, so got those two screws back there out of there. Now, there are 3 internal screws underneath this horn, which are no fun to get to. So, oh, that's right. Now, behind the steering wheel, you'll see there are more screws. Oh, there's one on that side, and then there's one on the other side. So, let's get this one done here. Might need a little nubby screwdriver to take that thing out. Little nubby screwdriver. Take this little screw out. Okay, let's turn the steering wheel around to the other side. Yeah, there's another little screw. That little screw right there. I'm gonna get to. Okay. Now we've got those 2 screws out. They should come loose. This little housing behind the steering wheel is loose now, which makes it so we can get to 3 more screws. See, can you see them in there? Got that screw there. That one's hard to get to. Then turn the steering wheel upside down, and then we got a couple other screws in here. Can't seem to find it. Let's see. Oh, there's one right there. The crack on this side. Maybe you can see it there. I'm not sure. And there's one on the other side here too. Let's start with this one. Okay, now let's go to the other side. The other screw. If I can find it. And there it is. Another screw up here. See that? Right in there. Drop that screw in there. Darn it. Find that later. Not sure where that dropped. But, no, there it is. Okay. Now, for the stubborn one. They don't tell you about this third screw in the Chilton's manual. They just tell you about two of the screws. So you might be trying to rip off your front part of your steering wheel with the screw in it still, which I don't recommend doing. See, there's a third screw. Two on the top, one on the bottom. This screw they don't tell you about. Okay. And you're going to need a special tool for it. A special screwdriver. Those bent guys, 90 angle. So, let's get to that. Kind of move this housing there. This is the pain in the ass part. Screw. Fuck. What a pain in the ass. The screw is almost there. Got it. Okay. That's the bitch of the bunch. now that we've got this faceplate, steering wheel loose, I'm going to go ahead and undo the wires for the horns. Okay, one last wire there. And voila, it's off. Okay, so now here we are. It's pulling off the steering wheel. So you got this nut here, just like any car, I guess. And you gotta get one of these. Got a harmonic balancer puller from AutoZone. $20 deposit. You have all these different screws to work with. Puller, the rod to pull it out. Just grab my socket real quick. So this bolt right here, the standard socket set, or actually metric, 21 millimeter. It's actually a spark plug wrench for the larger spark plugs. Works just fine, fits right on there. So let's get to that. Get rid of this bolt, and we can pull the steering wheel off. But just remember to mark where the steering wheel is. There you go. In comparison to the rod, so that way when you stick it back on, your steering wheel is straight when you're going straight. Should be ideal, of course. Got that off. Now you can pull this little plate off here. Shove these wires through here. Let's get this out of here. Alright, so got those. Got that off for the horn. Okay, now we're going to pull the steering wheel off. So, pretty sure this is the size you need for this. Yep. It's the one, silver ones. As you can see, this is where you'd want to make your marks here. which, did I bring a pen? No, I didn't, but I can still see the mark I left from last time I pulled my steering wheel off. So I'm just going to use those marks, but if you have felt pen, just go ahead and mark. I did one on the top to this plate, one down to the bottom here, just make a nice straight line. So, I don't know if you can see those marks. Definitely want to make those marks. You don't want a crooked steering wheel when you put it back on. So let's get to it. Okay. Actually, it's the copper ones. Copper bolts are the ones I need to use. They're longer, same thread pattern. Alright. So, got this puller on here, 2 bolts in the 2 little holes there. Got the harmonic puller. See the bolts you screw into the holes. Then, don't want to forget the tip to this harmonic puller. Little tip. Stick on the end there. So you can center it onto where you need to push off the steering wheel to pull it off here. So let's get this nice and tight here. Okay, all ready to go. Just need to wrench on that. Should be able to pull the steering wheel right off. All right, it's loose. I may need to pull it some more. And the steering wheel is off. Okay, so now the steering wheel's off, I'm going to get to this. There's 3 screws up here. Gotta undo that. And a couple screws down here. Do those. And it should come off. Yeah. Find a good spot for you guys here. Sorry. Edit this. There we go. Get this harmonic puller out of here. Don't forget to take this top part, the steering column out. There you go. Got that out of there. And this should pop right off here. Just don't forget to undo the plugs. Got one right here. And got another one on the side here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. Oh, excuse me, there's actually 4 connectors. 2 on that side, 2 on that side. Oh. Without further ado, let's get to it. Hard to get to. There we go. Okay. Got the housing for the instrument panel off there. And this is the switch I need to replace. Oh shit. It's about to come off. Huh. That's not good. Okay. So, that's pretty much it. Alright. Hopefully you have an easier time than I did.